Alright, in this first video I'm going to show you how to fill Crosman 118. Crosman 118 was made for only 2 years, 1952 through 54, and it's really a rifle that came from Crossman's gallery days. They used to have hose-fed rifles in shooting galleries, come up through the bottom here, and this allowed the gun to repeat so that people could shoot at the gallery. Anyhow, let's go with the filling first of all. This is an original fill tank that used to come with the bulk fill Crossmans. I have some that actually still hold CO2. This one's empty at the moment. But we really don't want to be using something that's 60, 70 years old to fill CO2 anymore. So the solution is to get a regular paintball tank, an adapter from, it used to be Bryan's and Associates. It is now owned by Baker Air Guns, I believe. Now, just simply put this on the end of a normal paintball tank. We have the switch to off. We'll remove the end plug of the Crosman 118. A simple coin will do it. A dime works best for me. Fits right in there. And that exposes the valve by which you'll put the CO2 into the gun. Now, I always use a couple of drops of Crossman oil every time I fill up one of their CO2 guns. The oil will go into the chamber, and then when you fire the shots, it'll go throughout the mechanism and lubricate the seals. So I'm going to put a couple drops in here. Then we're going to screw our paintball tank on. Then we're going to turn the valve to on. And the liquid CO2 is at the bottom of the tank here, and it's entering the CO2 chamber of the rifle. Now, sometimes if you want to get as much CO2 in as you can have the paintball tank sitting out in a warmer climate and put the gun inside where it's not getting any sun. So this is cool, this would be warm, helps the transfer. Yeah, it takes about 30 seconds to put this in there. I'm going to stop it a little bit early for the video. Alright, then just simply screw it back off. Has a little bleed port on the side that the CO2 will come out for the bleed. Be sure you keep that away from your eye when you do it. And we put back on the fill cap. Fill cover. Now in the old days, you used to take this tube here, it would screw into the top, then you would turn the knob and it would transfer the CO2. And people back in the 50s and 40s used to send these into Crossman through the United States Postal Service, and they would be filled and sent back to the customer. And yeah, let's check and make sure we got some CO2 in here. Alright, we're ready to go. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the unique things about the Crosman 118. And the main thing is, it is a repeater. It's an early repeater. Simply pull back on the bolt. The mechanism operates. A pellet from the magazine is then inserted into the barrel, and you fire. The gun does come with a hammer tension adjuster. So by screwing it in, you can get a more powerful shot. By screwing it out, you can get a lower velocity, but more shots per fill. I'm going to go ahead and screw it in all the way here. Now, the gun has an inline magazine. And this is the original to the gun. And what you simply do is you depress that, pull the spring back, and you would load your pellets in here. I'm using H&N Sport wad cutters. Let's put about 5 in here. It's supposed to hold 10. On these I find 9 is more comfortable. But for right now, I'm just going to put in 5. Now you'll notice there's a slot on the magazine. If you line that slot up with the slot in the receiver, you'll be able to see how many pellets you have left in the magazine. You can look right through there. All right, we'll cock the gun. Now occasionally these will have a pellet jam, and it's pretty easy how to unjam it on this model. What you do is, of course, put it on safe, remove the magazine, make sure there's no pellets in there, and there aren't. I take something like a piece of wood, and what you do is you just lever up the top portion of the receiver. It comes right off. And what you'll see inside is the mechanisms, pretty clever mechanisms. You simply pick that up and pull it out. And you pull the pawl out. And right in here, if there's a pellet stuck, that's where it would be. You simply remove it. So when you put it back in, make sure that the little indexer is long side out. And it'll fit right down in this hole. And you take your pawl activator, put it in to where it goes over that. I gotta get that down all the way. Go over that little pin. There we are. Fits in like that. And then you take your receiver cover, which got a little hook on the end of it, hook it on the front, push down, and it snaps into place. And that's how easy it is to get a stuck pellet out of there. Next, I'm going to set up some cans, and I'll show you how it works. All right, today I'm shooting kind of short range. I'm about 12 yards for where this can's going to sit. I normally shoot at 25 or 30 yards, but there's hummingbirds that have a nest underneath that cover there. My wife won't let me make any noise under there. I'm going to put a can of Mango Cart Mango Wheat Ale. Yuck. I hate this stuff. I don't know how I got a hold of it. We'll shake that up, and we'll take a few shots at it with the 118 and see what happens. I love those cans of air. The 118 really does have some velocity to it. I don't have my chronograph out, and I'm not going to stick it up to test the velocity, but they're a pretty powerful little rifle. It's just a can of beer. Yeah, did a number on that. It smells like mango beer around here. Yuck. Just FYI, it is a beautiful day here in Southern California. Going to take a swim here in a little while. It's about 78 degrees. My navel oranges are doing well. Valencias are coming through. Avocados are starting to bloom. Yeah, going to have some nice fruit. I've been eating navels now for the last month and a half.